This case involves the abduction, rape, and murder of Carmen Gayheart, which occurred in 1994. It stands as a harrowing account of extreme violence and the subsequent lengthy pursuit of justice through the legal system. The perpetrators identified in this crime were Anthony Floyd Wainwright and Richard Eugene Hamilton. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Carmen Gayheart was a young woman, just 23 years old at the time her life was tragically taken. She was actively pursuing her education, enrolled as a nursing student. Beyond her studies, she was a mother, leaving behind 2 children. Her abduction took place on April 27, 1994, in Lake City, Florida. The individuals responsible for this crime were Anthony Floyd Wainwright and Richard Eugene Hamilton. At the time of the murder, both men had recently escaped from a prison facility in North Carolina. Wainwright had been serving a sentence of 10 years for burglary. Hamilton was serving a longer sentence, 25 years, for armed robbery. Their escape set the stage for the events that followed. Following their escape, Wainwright and Hamilton stole a vehicle and acquired weapons. They then targeted Carmen Gayheart, abducting her from a supermarket parking lot located in Lake City, Florida. The perpetrators drove her to a remote, isolated area situated in Hamilton County, Florida. In this secluded location, they subjected Carmen Gayheart to a brutal sexual assault. The violence escalated further. Anthony Floyd Wainwright was identified as the individual who strangled Carmen Gayheart. To ensure her death, Wainwright then shot her twice in the head. Her body was subsequently left at the remote site where the crime occurred. The investigation into Carmen Gayheart's disappearance began swiftly. Wainwright and Hamilton were apprehended the day after the murder. On April 28, 1994, their location was near Brookhaven, Mississippi, a significant distance from the crime scene. Their apprehension involved a confrontation. They engaged in a gunfight with Mississippi State Trooper John Wayne Leggett. During this exchange, both perpetrators sustained non-fatal gunshot wounds. Carmen Gayheart's Ford Bronco, which the suspects had been using, was recovered at the time of their arrest. Following their return to Florida, Richard Eugene Hamilton confessed to the crime. His confession included drawing a map. This map provided investigators with the location where Carmen Gayheart's body had been left. Carmen Gayheart's decomposed remains were discovered on May 2, 1994 in Hamilton County, guided by Hamilton's map. The medical examiner conducted the examination. The initial examination noted missing teeth and the hyoid bone. These missing elements were later recovered at the scene, providing crucial forensic evidence. Both Anthony Floyd Wainwright and Richard Eugene Hamilton were charged with multiple felonies. These charges included first-degree murder, sexual battery, robbery, and kidnapping. A grand jury formally indicted them on all counts in July 1994. Due to the heinous nature of the crime and the presence of aggravating factors, the state attorney announced the intention to seek the death penalty for both defendants. The case garnered significant media attention in the local area. This extensive publicity made it impossible to seat an unbiased jury in Hamilton County. Consequently, the trial venue was moved to Clay County. While awaiting trial, Wainwright and Hamilton reportedly planned escape attempts. They also made threats against jail staff. As a result of these actions and perceived risks, they were placed in maximum security confinement. They were also required to wear stun belts while in court proceedings. The decision was made to try the 2 defendants separately. Their individual trials took place in May 1995. Both juries heard the evidence presented by the prosecution and the defense. On May 30, 1995, both juries returned their verdicts. Both Anthony Floyd Wainwright and Richard Eugene Hamilton were found guilty of all charges against them. The penalty phase followed the guilt phase. On June 1, 1995, both juries recommended the death penalty for the first-degree murder conviction. The jury recommendation for Wainwright was unanimous. The jury recommendation for Hamilton was 10-2 in favor of death. Circuit Judge Vernon Douglas formally sentenced both men on June 12, 1995. He imposed the death penalty via the electric chair for the first-degree murder conviction. In addition to the death sentence, they each received 3 consecutive life sentences for the other offenses: sexual battery, robbery, and kidnapping. In delivering the sentence, Judge Douglas described the murder in stark terms. he characterized it as pitiless and unnecessarily torturous. He further stated that the crime was wicked, evil, and vile. Following their sentencing, the case for both defendants entered a lengthy and complex appellate process. This is standard procedure in death penalty cases in Florida and the United States. Richard Eugene Hamilton pursued appeals through the state court system. His appeals were ultimately unsuccessful through the Florida Supreme Court. Anthony Floyd Wainwright also pursued numerous appeals through both state and federal courts. His appeals similarly proved unsuccessful over many years. The legal challenges continued for decades. In a 2023 appeal, Wainwright submitted new DNA evidence. This submission was reviewed by the courts. The appeal based on this new evidence was ultimately dismissed. Wainwright's legal team pursued every available avenue. The U.S. Supreme Court represents the final level of appeal in the federal system. The U.S. Supreme Court dismissed Wainwright's final appeal in April 2024. This action effectively exhausted his standard appeals. The two perpetrators faced different ultimate outcomes while on death row. Richard Eugene Hamilton died on death row in January 2023. His death was attributed to natural causes. He was 59 years old at the time of his death. With Hamilton's death, Anthony Floyd Wainwright became the sole surviving perpetrator on death row for the murder of Carmen Gayheart. After the exhaustion of Wainwright's appeals, the legal process moved towards execution. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed Anthony Floyd Wainwright's death warrant on May 10, 2025. This warrant set a specific date for the execution. Anthony Floyd Wainwright is scheduled to be executed on June 10, 2025. Following the signing of the warrant, Wainwright's attorneys sought further legal review. An evidentiary hearing was requested before the trial court. Circuit Judge Melissa Olin reviewed this request. On May 16, 2025, Judge Olin declined to grant an evidentiary hearing. Wainwright's legal team responded by filing an appeal of Judge Olin's decision. They also filed a motion for a stay of execution. These filings were submitted to the Florida Supreme Court. These actions represent the final legal efforts to prevent the scheduled execution. The Carmen Gayheart case garnered significant public attention at the time of the crime and during the subsequent legal proceedings. The brutality of the crime resonated deeply within the community and across the state. The victim's family has consistently sought justice for Carmen. For decades, they have advocated for the executions of both perpetrators. Their pursuit of finality has been a long and arduous journey. Tragically, Carmen Gayheart's parents did not live to see the executions occur. Her father passed away in 2013. Her mother passed away more recently, in 2022. Their deaths occurred before either Hamilton or Wainwright faced execution. Mississippi Trooper John Wayne Leggett played a critical role in the case. His actions led to the apprehension of Wainwright and Hamilton shortly after the murder. Trooper Leggett was honored for his bravery and effectiveness in confronting and capturing the dangerous fugitives. The case of Carmen Gayheart serves as a stark and somber reminder of the devastating impact of violent crime on individuals, families, and communities. It highlights the profound loss inflicted by such acts. Furthermore, the case underscores the enduring and often lengthy pursuit of justice within the criminal justice system. It reflects the commitment to holding perpetrators accountable and seeking resolution for victims and their loved ones, even across decades.